Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mr. H, Principal of Buchanan Middle School. This is
Miss LeClaire.
And this is
Mr. Parker.
Welcome you all. This is the third 9-week grading period. For some of you, you've seen this first semester, and for some of you, this is the first time. And I hope you enjoy this orientation because what you hear today is what's going to happen each and every day. First thing is binders. Students, binders are required. I'm asking all students to have binders. Teachers, if they do not have a binder, please take their name and we'll give you a binder. We have plenty of binders here to give you all. We have paper, we have pencils. We want you all to be ready, prepared for second semester. Second thing is uniforms. Uniforms are required. Black, purple, white, and gray, each and every day. You may wear a sweatshirt. It may be a zip-up jacket or maybe a sweatshirt, but we must see the polo shirt. If a teacher asks you to show you the zip it down or pull it up, to show us the color of the polo shirt. If you do not have the right color, you will ask to then go back to the office to get a red polo shirt. And that red polo shirt is a naughty, naughty, naughty shirt. And if you get 3 red shirts, that's 1 day of in-school suspension. So please, uniforms are required each and every day. Friday is a Spirit Day, and we can talk about Spirit Day in a little bit under uniforms. Tardies. First semester, I kind of was a little lenient on the tardies. We have 3 minutes to be on time. We have one-way directional hallways. So you need to find the quickest route. The ones that were here first semester understand what I'm talking about when I say one-way directional. All the hallways that are inside all go east to west. The ones outside you can go both ways, but the ones inside east to west, if it rains, then we can go 2-way directional on that piece. Students, if you're absent, and this is going out to e-learners now also, we have a few e-learners out there, and just a reminder, e-learners, if a teacher's absent, please check your Canvas page to get that assignment for that day. If not, it's your responsibility. The teachers put it on. I've told the teachers, expectations are to put their assignment on the Canvas. Even if the teacher is brick and mortar here on campus, please check their Canvas page so that will give them their assignment also. No excuse, I don't know the assignment. It's on the Canvas page. One of the biggest things I want to see and continue to see each and every day is respect. We need to respect each other, student to student, student to adult, and adult to adult. Respect goes a long, long way. And I tell you, truth. Tell us the truth, and things will be a lot easier. If you want to lie about it and not tell the whole truth, but the truth, you get yourself in more trouble. Speaking of trouble, if you get in trouble, in the classroom or with one of us, we give you chances. But I tell you, if you act out, the answer is going to be you're going back to e-learning. And you'll hear it. Ask the kids that are here the first semester. I will say to them, what's your consequence? E-learning. You got it. That's what the thing is. Our expectation is to do things right here. If you can't do things right here,
Going home.
you're going home. Transportation. Transportation is a privilege. Transportation is a privilege. Again, we're in quarantine status. Most of our buses are in pretty good shape. I know we have more students coming in right now. We might have to sit 2 to a seat. Do it. Keep your mask on. Do things right, and things will be fine. But if the masks come down, I see plenty of buses that say, before they even enter, mask required. Masks are required on the bus. Masks are required in the hallways. Masks are required in the cafeteria, unless you are eating. Media center, same thing. PE, masks are required, but if you're doing your activity outside or inside doing the activity, the mask can come down. Masks are required. We've had a few cases, not a whole lot, knock on wood. This is the COVID master right here. He's in charge of all the COVID stuff. I'll just say one thing about it. He may want to chat in on a little bit, but quarantine. If you, for some reason, don't feel good, stay home. Don't feel good, stay home. If you end up with the COVID, you're home for 10 days. That's where the Canvas comes into effect, where you can check your Canvas page each and every day to find out what you need to do for assignments. That's 10 days of COVID. We've had very few cases, but if I have COVID and we're standing right here, she'd be in trouble and he would be in trouble. Now, they don't have it, but they have been, what's the word?
Exposed.
Exposed. They have to stay home now also.
Close contact.
Close contact. Close contact. Things have changed a little bit. Yes, folks, you've heard, I've had the COVID. I've had the COVID. But I had the COVID. And everybody has it differently. Everybody has it differently. So please, if you don't feel well, stay home. And then we'll contact Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker will contact you, contact that, and there's a process. We've talked about tardies, 3 minutes. We've talked about dress code, black, white, purple, and gray. E-learning students, some of you again, e-learning students that are at home, please dress appropriately on the video. Please dress appropriately on the video. And I say dress code as Hillsborough County policy. That means polo shirt, doesn't mean tank tops. You can put a regular shirt on, it's fine. But please do not wear inappropriate clothing or inappropriate sayings on your shirts.
Or lack of clothing.
Or lack of clothing. Thank you very much. Disruption. Disruption will get you to go home. Please do not disrupt the teacher from other students from learning or the teacher. Next one, I'm going to hand it over to Ms. LeClaire regarding electronic devices. Ms. LeClaire?
Good afternoon, everybody. It's so hard to follow up to that eloquent presentation, Mr. H, but I'm going to do my best. Electronic devices, the earbuds. This year the big thing is the AirPods. Like when you guys were wearing the big headphones, it was easy to see when you had your earbuds on in the hallway. Or even the ones with the wires. Now you got those little AirPods. We still see them, folks. We can still see that they're hanging out of your ear. Put them away when it's instructional time. Put them away in the hallways. We've had several students have them lost or stolen. And they're expensive, and you get very upset when you can't find them. We do our best to try and help you find them, but leave them at home. Leave them at home. They're too expensive to have them here at school. It's not worth the risk of having them. If you're in the classroom and you have them in your ears, we're going to come down. We're going to ask you to give them to us to the end of the day. We can't have you listen to your earphones, AirPods during classroom instruction. The same thing with the cell phones. If you have it at school, that's fine. I understand that for safety, but it needs to be put away while you're in the classroom. And if you have it out and the teacher asks you for it, please have that respect Mr. H talked about and turn it into the teacher. They've all been instructed. If they ask for the cell phone and you won't give it to them, that we're going to come down and get it, and then there's going to be a consequence. So do what you have to do. Respect your teachers. There's a time for your AirPods and your cell phones, and there's a time to get serious and learn.
When can you use did you say lunchtime you can use your AirPods?
Oh, absolutely at lunchtime, but please, when you go up to order your food, take them out so that you can communicate with the ladies about what you want for lunch. But during lunch, of course, you can be on your phone, you can listen to music, you have that 30 minutes of time to yourself. But when it's time to learn and put them away. The other thing about electronic devices is when we are e-learners, we really need you guys to have your videos on. Don't log into your Zoom session and then turn your video off immediately, because your teachers, they don't know if you're there or not. They need to be able to see you. Like if you don't want your face on the camera, just have the top of your head or your shoulder, just have a part of your body shown on that video. I understand that we don't all have perfect hair every day, and we may want to record videos. But really, let your teachers know that you're there so they know that you're actively participating and engaged in their lessons. The next thing up was bullying. One thing that we have seen that's a lot different this year than we ever experienced in the past is with our e-learners, the inappropriate comments in the chat room. Just because you're online doesn't mean we don't know who you are. Doesn't mean your teachers don't know who you are. Doesn't mean your classmates don't know who you are. You can't just say whatever you want in the chat room of your classes and not have a consequence. It's the same as calling out and hollering across the room when you're on campus. So please be appropriate, whether you're an e-learner or on campus.
I missed a few things with dress code.
Oh boy.
Maybe start thinking about this dress code. Ladies, dress code, fingertips. If it's below your fingertips and there's holes in your pants or your skirt's too short, no good. You have to have your holes below your fingertips. Above your fingertips, no good. Above the fingertips, no good. Second thing is hoodies.
Big one.
We wear hoodies, we wear our sweatshirts with no zipper, okay. But if you have the hoodie on, the hoodie has to be off your head. Off your head. And I'm telling you, it's cold out today, as you see all of us, well, Mr. Claire doesn't have much on. But I have a jacket on, Mr. Parker's.
You just don't have the.
Mr. Parker's, have you ever heard of Saw Mr. Rogers before? Mr. Rogers is right over here, Mr. Parker.
He's got his party on.
Yeah.
Drip.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. So, what I'm asking you all to do, if you have the hoodie on, take it off. Mr. Parker, or any of us, will ask you for your hoodie. And we'll give it to you at the end of the day. And if it's cold out, shame on you. Keep that hoodie off your head. Now it's back to Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna speak to you all about arrival procedures. Students are not permitted on campus until 9 o'clock unless you are participating in the host program. The host program is available before and after school. So if you want more information, you can ask Coach Harkins about it, or you can go to the front office to get information on the host program. It comes with a nominal fee. I'm sure that we can work with parents regarding that fee, but if you're not a bus rider, and you're a car rider or walk, or and you're a car rider and your parents can't pick you up before 4:30, we ask that you participate in the host program for a nominal fee. I'm going to speak to you about lunch and cafeteria procedures before and after. When you're coming to lunch, your teachers are going to escort you. You don't escort yourself to the cafeteria. You will be, when you enter into the cafeteria, you will sit at your assigned table. You're not going to hop around from table to table, because if we see that, we're going to reprimand you for it.
And one reason why we're doing that, folks, it's for our
Social distance.
social distancing, but it's also for the tracing.
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing. Most of you, first semester, went to the same table, same chair, every day. And that's great, because if we find out somebody did have the COVID, we can tell you right now, row 3, table 4,
You're all quarantined.
you're all quarantined. So that's the reason why we do that. So you're not only your own row, but we try to get you at your own table.
All right, so let me rewind for a second to our morning procedures. So when you're on campus at 9 o'clock, we also have other options available. Some of you have tutoring, some of you participate in music, and then we have the media center pass, and we also have the gymnasium. The only way that you would be permitted to go to those areas is if you have a pass. So if you're participating in any of those programs, make sure that you have a pass, and we'll allow you to go. If you don't have a pass, we're not going to allow you to go. There's no buddy systems here. So back to the cafeteria. When you're sitting at your assigned table, you're not going to hop around. One of us, or Mr. Maddox, or Ms. Nichols, whoever's helping in the cafeteria, Ms. Gutchman, they're going to tap on your table, and that's when you will line up. If there are enough kids at the window, you're going to line up on those dots. Do not pile up on a line. We're doing that for a purpose. Again, that's to protect you, and that's to maintain order. There are going to be 2 individuals at the window. When one person leaves, someone in front of the line will ask another student to step up. So make sure that you're paying attention, make sure that you don't have any earbuds on, you're not playing the video games on your phone, so that we can expedite the process. Also, you are allowed, as Ms. Claire said, to use your electronics during lunch. When we're exiting the cafeteria, mask on. After you finish eating, mask on. When you're leaving the cafeteria, make sure that all of those items are put away, food included. You're going to line up on your assigned number, and your teachers will escort you back to class unless you're part of the last lunch.
I want to add one little thing, because first semester people understand this, but second semester may not. We pick up all our trash.
That's right.
We have plastic bags this year. Plastic bags. Nothing stays on the table. Last year, we allowed extra food to stay on the table as long as it was covered up. This year we can't do that. We
No
can't.
sharing.
No sharing.
No sharing anything.
I can't go from one table to another table with food this year. What's yours is yours. If you need something extra, ask us and we'll see what we can do for you. Maybe from the lunchroom area. But hey, another thing about this, and it's not on our agenda. Breakfast and lunch are free all year long.
Woo!
Breakfast and lunch are free all day long.
For every student.
Every student. If you bring your lunch and you're still hungry, you can go up and get a lunch. Can't get 2 lunches, but you can get your free lunch. As long as you put your number in. Sorry, Mr. Parker, I just thought of that.
No.
I just thought about that.
I appreciate the introduction. And the last piece, when you go to the line, and you're gonna ask for what item you're gonna eat that day, make sure that you have your lunch number on a card, or take a picture of it on your phone so that you can show our SNS workers. So that, again, we can expedite the process and we can make sure everyone remains safe from the COVID.
That's right.
No Rona.
Dismissal procedures. I know we're doing this a little bit earlier before orientation, but I got on the morning show this morning, and then today is January 6th, and I'm gonna talk about it January 6th, I'm gonna talk about it on January 25th. Doesn't matter which day. Every day's the same. We make announcements at 4:23, 4:22, 4:24, somewhere around the 4:20s. Miss Nichols makes that announcement. And I tell Miss Nichols what buses are late. Miss Nichols says, at this time, all students that are bike riders, car riders, and walkers may be dismissed. Starting today, Mr. Parker has a new gig. It's down by PE for a little bit. And I said January 6th, that's what this is. But on January 15th to 16th, when you guys see this, he'll be down there again. Students will not be going to the PE area. They will be walking to the office, to the car line, or to the bike area, which is by the bus ramp. Do not go backwards, which is towards PE. You need to all go towards the front of the school to be dismissed. If you're a walker, you follow just like the car line, and you go out the gates and go home. Do not go by the buses. First semester, you've done a great job. But I have some students, about 15, 20 students, that are trying to go towards the PE area, and that's a no-no. And I tell you, if we continue to see it, you'll be going to the PE area each and every day at home. Hallways. After we say car riders, bike riders, and walkers are dismissed, then I tell Miss Nichols, we have one late bus. For you newbies, third quarter, last year was miserable. We're always a half hour late, 45 minutes late. This year, we've only had two buses late all semester, which has been unbelievable and great.
Fantastic.
So we have 15 buses. When I have 13 or 14 buses on campus, we dismiss. And I have a little chart. I've kind of put it up like this, and you guys see where the buses are. You guys are doing a wonderful job first semester, kids. Looking at that map and understanding the map now. It took us a long time, but we figured it out. We figured it out. And then we will go to your bus ramps. You'll go to your bus areas. Once everybody's on the bus, you go home. We cannot go home until you guys get on the bus. Please, teachers, walk the kids down to the bus area so we can have a safe and orderly fashion. I start with the 100 hallway every day. Why? Because 100 is clear, then 200, so we do not have a backup of students by the bus ramp. It's called that big word, social distancing. Okay, I think that's all I have. Now it's back to safety, Ms. LeClaire.
Safety, we've kind of hit on this a little bit already, that no one can be on campus until 9 o'clock. You guys have been doing a pretty good job this year with waiting out front by the gate till I come out and open it, and then you come on into campus. If you're going to show up after 9:35 when that second bell rings, you have to go to the office to sign in. Make sure you sign in, get a pass before you go to class. We talked about in the cafeteria, using the entrance and exit doors. It's also the same in the classroom. That's again to maintain that social distancing, to keep the flow of traffic going in one direction instead of having us passing each other in close proximity. We want you guys going in the one direction so we can maintain that distancing. Crosswalks needs to be used at all times. Crosswalks that's out front if you're getting dropped off at parent drop off. Keep in mind your parents drop you off, you walk up the yellow line and you cross at the crosswalk where I am. That's also if you're a walker after school, if you're crossing North Boulevard towards the CVS, or if you're crossing Bears Avenue. There's crossing guards out there. Make sure that you use the crosswalks. We've had several students get tickets from Deputy Santiago for $50-something.
We have done this year so far. Last year,
We had a lot for jaywalking, and you get that $50-something fine when you're in middle school. If you don't pay it, it's going to come time to get your driver's license, and you're going to have this big fine with all these late fees. And you won't be getting your driver's license because you can't follow instructions about how to walk across the street. You certainly don't need to be driving down it. So use the crosswalks, it's good practice for when you are a driver. Bike riders, make sure you're using the bike rack. I've seen bikes a couple times chained up to the fence, I'm not sure how that happened. Make sure the bikes are going into the appropriate place where they can be locked up. And make sure you do lock them up. We haven't had any bike thefts this year, but it was a bit of an issue last year. If it's locked up, you're gonna have a lot better luck. And another thing with safety, I know we've hit on this many times, but the one-way hallways and the masks, it's all about keeping you guys safe, keeping the adults on campus safe, keeping us safe, keeping your families at home safe. People are saying that I've been really mean this year, which is kind of funny, but you need to wear your masks. I yell at kids all day, every day about having the mask on. I don't want to see your nose. It's not a chin strap. It is a face covering. Keep your exhaust to yourself. We don't want it, your classmates don't want it, and your teachers don't want to breathe your exhaust. Again, the one-way hallways, we've been a little bit more lenient with tardies because we realize the traffic patterns are a little bit longer, but do your best to find the shortest route. And then on the days when we do have bad weather, which we know will happen in the springtime once the rainy season starts again, you got to stay to the right. We have to keep that distance away from each other as much as we possibly can.
Mr. Parker?
All right, so we are going to resume extramural sports in the spring. I know there's been some up in the air about whether or not we're going to have sports, but we are going to have sports in the spring. Our two sports that are remaining for the school year are soccer and flag football. Soccer will begin.
Basketball, we already had basketball.
Oh, sorry.
Soccer and flag football. Soccer will begin on January the 25th. You cannot participate in any extramural sports without completing your athletic packet online through Planet High School. There are a lot of directions, a lot of information in the front office regarding Planet High School and how you get involved in extracurricular sports. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, you can ask any of the administrators, and we'll direct you to the packet in the front office. Flag football, that will begin in March. We don't have the date for tryouts, but as soon as we get that information, we're going to convey that through the morning show and in the cafeteria, so be on the lookout for that.
Is that for boys and girls?
Boys and girls. Both sports, for soccer and in flag football, that's for boys and girls. In order for you to be eligible, academically eligible, you are a student athlete. So you are student first, athlete second. You must have a 2.0 GPA from the previous semester. That's not what your grades currently are portraying on EdConnect or SB or Canvas, right? But you must have a 2.0 GPA from the first semester. That's a C average. If you don't have that, you will not be able to participate in spring sports. Also, you must make sure that all of your information is complete on Planet High School and that you pay the $25 insurance by the district. I know that some of you all have your insurance through your parents, but this is separate. This is the district insurance. You must pay the $25 in order to participate. And you must have a physical. We want to make sure that you're safe and healthy before you step on the soccer field or the flag football field. So make sure you have all of those requirements complete if you plan on participating in spring sports.
Speaking of spring sports, it was grades and grade promotion. We just finished our first semester. Ms. LeClaire, we got a few kids that have to do ELP or credit recovery.
Oh my goodness, we sure do. Just as a reminder, in order to pass all your courses, you need to have 2 quality points in the first semester and 2 quality points in the second semester of each of your core classes. That can be achieved by simply a D and a D. Each D is worth 1 point. C's are worth 2, B's are worth 3, and A's are worth 4. So a D and a D is all you need to pass. Why we have so many students that still need to go to ELP blows my mind. ELP, if you earn an F, you can turn that F into a D that you need to either attend for 14 hours here on campus or online if you're an e-learner, or complete the entire ELP course with a 60% or better. First quarter, we had quite a few kids participate, but there's still a lot of you out there that did not participate. If you have questions, reach out to Ms. Foshi if you're an e-learner, reach out to Ms. Nichols if you're on campus, see myself in the cafeteria. We're going to do whatever we can to help you get those quality points, but you need to make the effort and be participating in that ELP. A lot of the reasons you have those Fs on your report cards is because you have zeros. You need to be turning in all of your assignments. If you're absent, like Mr. H said, go to Canvas, find out what your responsibilities are. Just because you're out on quarantine doesn't mean that you don't have to participate in school. We need you keeping up with your assignments.
Well, we've talked a little bit, the D's and F's, now let's talk about the positives. The positive behavior gets you everything. Another thing that's really been big lately has been the Buchanan Bucks. I've had two students become principal for an hour. They had radios, they had ties, they walked around, they did different things. So, if you want to be a principal for an hour, if you want me to buy you lunch, if you want to do anything, Buchanan Bucks are the way to go. Teachers, please hand out those Buchanan Bucks. I have them, hand them out, and collect them every Friday. Every Friday, collect them and put them in the bank. Your bank is, I want to say ESB, it's not ESB, but it's in EdConnect, I believe. And we will have those numbers for you. Mr. Freeman and Mrs. Belanger at the Buchanan store in the morning, and they will give you an opportunity to have all those things. So Buchanan Bucks, positive referrals. I do them on Fridays. Positive referrals, teachers, do those positive referrals. When a student gets a positive referral, they get a pixie stick. Grade level incentive. Each 9 weeks, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders have incentives. The 6th graders are doing an incentive here in the next couple weeks. So it's great. Do those honor roll cards. We have honor roll cards, principal's honor roll, high honor roll, regular honor roll. They're going to go outside and have lunch. And attendance parties. We've had attendance parties. We've done other kind of things. We want you, when I say parties, we have to have social distance. We did have, first semester, we did do an
Sign the
incentive day.
hedgehog in the cafeteria.
We did an incentive day. We had about 200 kids that go outside and they social distance themselves. They all wore their masks, they all wore their phones. We had a great time.
Yes, we
We
did.
can do those things if you guys follow directions. I know we've talked for about 30 minutes. We're excited for the newbies coming in. The ones that were here the first semester,
They
you
did a
guys
great job.
did a great job. I tell you, it's been a blessing. Thank you. You guys have a great day,
Have a great day.
and we'll see you at lunch
See you at lunch.
or in the hallways. Bye-bye.